Welcome to Ancient Conspiracy Files. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the ancient land of Mesopotamia, scholars discovered a tablet inscribed with an account that echoes the biblical tale of Noah and the Great Flood. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature, tells the story of a man named Utnapishtim, who is warned by a god to build a boat and save his family and a collection of animals from an impending deluge. It's a narrative that has resonated across centuries and cultures, a cautionary tale of divine wrath and human redemption. Yet, in the heart of the world's largest desert, the Sahara, researchers have found evidence of a once thriving civilization. Satellite images reveal the remnants of a vast river network that once crisscrossed the region, suggesting that this now arid wasteland was once a lush and fertile landscape teeming with life. Could it be possible that the ancient Sahara was the true location of the Great Flood? A growing body of evidence suggests that a cataclysmic event took place around 5000 BC, a period coinciding with the emergence of the first complex societies in Mesopotamia. Geological traces of an enormous flood have been uncovered in the Black Sea region, a disaster of such magnitude that it could have wiped out entire civilizations and triggered mass migrations across Europe and Asia. This brings us to the controversial theory of the Great Flood as an engineered reset event. Proponents of this theory argue that the flood was not a natural disaster, but a deliberate act, orchestrated by an advanced civilization or perhaps even extraterrestrial beings. The purpose? To reset humanity, to wipe the slate clean and start anew, reshaping society in a new image. From the pyramids of Egypt to the megaliths of Stonehenge, countless ancient structures across the world exhibit a level of engineering and mathematical precision that seems beyond the capabilities of their supposed builders. Could these be remnants of a lost civilization that possessed advanced technology, perhaps even the ability to control the forces of nature itself? The theory is admittedly speculative, and mainstream scientists are quick to dismiss it. But as we delve into the mysteries of our past, we must keep an open mind. The evidence for a cataclysmic flood around 5000 BC is compelling, and its correlation with the emergence of complex societies is intriguing. As we continue this exploration, we will examine the clues that hint at the existence of a prehistoric civilization with knowledge far beyond its time. We will explore the potential evidence of advanced technology in ancient structures, and the tantalizing possibility that the Great Flood was not an act of divine retribution, but an engineered reset event of epic proportions. As we delve deeper into the past, we find ourselves in a period approximately 7,000 years ago. The world was a vastly different place. Civilizations were just beginning to emerge from the remnants of hunter-gatherer societies. The ancient Mesopotamians, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, were laying the foundation for the first urban centers, developing rudimentary forms of agriculture, and inventing the earliest form of writing, cuneiform. Simultaneously, the Sahara was not the vast desert we know today. It was a lush savanna teeming with life, large mammals, fish-filled lakes, and flourishing human populations. Archaeological findings depict a time when humans thrived amidst abundant wildlife, leaving behind rock art that tells tales of hunting, fishing, and complex social interactions. But life was not idyllic everywhere. Far to the north, in the region we now know as the Black Sea, geological evidence points to a cataclysm of biblical proportions. Around 5600 BC, a massive deluge appears to have swept across the landscape. The force of this event was so immense that it forever altered the region's topography, transforming the freshwater lake into a vast, salty sea. The mythology of this period is rife with tales of a great flood. From the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh to the biblical account of Noah, narratives of a catastrophic deluge are a common thread across diverse cultures. These stories, passed down through generations, often speak of a divine punishment, a cleansing of the earth, coincidentally aligning with the time frame of the geological evidence from the Black Sea region. However, proponents of the engineered reset theory propose a different perspective. These narratives, they argue, may be the distorted memories of a civilization that was not only wiped out by a catastrophic flood, but was also technologically advanced, possibly more so than we could imagine. The whispers of this advanced civilization can be heard in the monolithic structures that dot our planet. The Great Pyramid of Giza, Stonehenge, the Teotihuacan pyramids, each exhibits a level of mathematical precision and understanding of astronomy that seems to be far beyond their time. Moreover, these structures often share striking similarities despite being separated by vast oceans and centuries. The pyramids of Egypt and Central America, for instance, both align with celestial bodies and incorporate sophisticated mathematical principles. Such parallels suggest a shared knowledge or influence, potentially indicative of a lost civilization with advanced understanding and capabilities. The engineered reset theory posits that this lost civilization might have had the capacity to manipulate natural forces, possibly even orchestrating a global flood as a means to reshape society. While this notion may seem fantastical, the mysteries surrounding our ancient past and the tantalizing clues left behind keep this theory within the realm of possibility. As we continue to probe the enigma of our history, we must remain open to these extraordinary possibilities. The Great Flood, whether a natural catastrophe or an engineered reset event, undeniably marks a significant turning point in human history, one that continues to intrigue and perplex us to this day. Examining the ancient texts, inscriptions, and myths that hint at the existence of a technologically advanced civilization, we find ourselves delving into a world of hidden knowledge and coded messages. One such text is the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh, which not only speaks of a great flood but also describes the hero's journey to meet Utnapishtim, the man who survived the deluge. According to the epic, Utnapishtim was warned by a god about the impending flood and was instructed to build a boat to save himself, his family, and all kinds of animals. Strikingly familiar to the biblical story of Noah, isn't it? But the intriguing part is that Utnapishtim in this epic is depicted as a man who attained immortality, suggesting an advanced understanding of life and death. The Popol Vuh, the sacred book of the ancient Maya, also provides fascinating insights. It speaks of a time when the gods decided to destroy their creation with a great flood because the beings they had created were not as they intended. The survivors, according to the Popol Vuh, were those who could escape to the mountains, a possible reference to higher ground or advanced knowledge. In ancient India, a similar narrative is found in the Mahabharata, an epic that talks about a vast flood that swept away everything, sparing only the virtuous man, Manu, and the 7 sages who possessed advanced knowledge. This narrative, like others, suggests a selective survival mechanism, possibly hinting at a planned reset. Turning to the physical evidence, the Great Sphinx of Giza presents another mystery. Weathering patterns on the monument suggest it was exposed to long periods of heavy rainfall, a climate that hasn't existed in Egypt for at least 10,000 years. This could indicate that the Sphinx predates known Egyptian civilization, perhaps serving as a relic of the advanced society posited by the engineered reset theory. Adding to this, the discovery of the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek artifact, challenges our understanding of historical technological progress. This device, designed to predict astronomical positions, is often referred to as the world's first analog computer, hinting at a level of technological sophistication not usually associated with ancient cultures. The engineered reset theory suggests these narratives, structures, and artifacts are not mere coincidences or isolated instances of advanced knowledge. Instead, they could be remnants of a forgotten epoch, echoes of a civilization advanced enough to engineer an event as cataclysmic as the Great Flood. If this is the case, then the flood narratives may be more than age-old stories. They might be historical accounts, passed down through generations, slowly losing their factual essence to the fog of time and metamorphosing into myths and legends. The engineered reset theory posits that the flood was not a natural disaster, but a deliberate act by an advanced civilization trying to reset the world. This theory challenges traditional historical timelines and interpretations, and introduces the idea of an ancient high-tech society capable of manipulating the environment on a global scale. The theory raises numerous questions. Who were these advanced beings? Why did they decide to reset the world? How did they accomplish such a feat? And why did they leave any survivors at all? The answers to these questions remain elusive, hidden in the annals of time, yet the search for them has led to a re-evaluation of history and a deeper examination of our ancient past. Mainstream history teaches us that civilization as we know it, with its cities, writing systems, and organized societies, began around 6,000 years ago. The engineered reset theory, however, suggests that the seeds of civilization were sown much earlier. It proposes that our ancestors were not simple hunter-gatherers, but part of a complex, advanced society that was lost in the Great Flood. This idea, often dismissed as fringe or pseudo-history, is gaining traction as more anomalies and inconsistencies in our historical timeline come to light. Take, for instance, the intricate cave paintings found in different parts of the world, dating back tens of thousands of years. The sophistication and technique displayed in these ancient artworks far exceed what would be expected of primitive societies. The Lascaux caves in France, for example, showcase a level of artistic expertise and understanding of perspective that wouldn't be seen again until the Renaissance, some 15,000 years later. Could this be evidence of the advanced society the engineered reset theory proposes? Similarly, the existence of megalithic structures such as Stonehenge, the pyramids of Egypt, and the statues of Easter Island pose significant questions about our historical understanding. These massive constructions, thought to have been built thousands of years ago, would have required advanced engineering knowledge, sophisticated tools, and a level of societal organization that seems incongruous with the hunter-gatherer societies of the time. Is it possible that these structures were remnants of a civilization lost to the flood? Moreover, the engineered reset theory challenges the belief that the evolution of technology has been a steady, linear process. The Antikythera mechanism, as previously mentioned, is a prime example of this. How could such an advanced device have been created in a time when the wheel was considered state-of-the-art technology? The existence of such an artifact suggests that our understanding of technological progression may need to be revised. These anomalies, when viewed through the lens of the engineered reset theory, potentially paint a picture of a world and history far different from what we've been taught. They suggest the possibility of a forgotten epoch, a civilization that had achieved great advancements before being wiped out in a cataclysm of their own making. The survivors, then, were not just the lucky ones, but the chosen, those who were meant to carry the torch of civilization into the new world. As we delve into the hard evidence, we find that there are a number of intriguing physical artifacts and geological markers that could lend credence to the engineered reset theory. Starting with carbon dating, an indispensable tool for archaeologists, it provides insights into the age of organic artifacts and remnants. However, this method is not infallible and has been known to yield inconsistent results. For instance, dating of the Shroud of Turin, a piece of linen cloth bearing the image of a man, which some believe to be the burial shroud of Jesus Christ, has produced widely varying results. The carbon dating done in 1988 suggested it originated from the Middle Ages, but subsequent investigations have pointed to a much earlier date, possibly even the time of Christ. Could such discrepancies suggest a disturbance in the carbon cycle, perhaps linked to a cataclysmic event like the Great Flood? Moving to architectural anomalies, specifically the pyramids of Egypt, their precise alignment with the celestial bodies has left researchers puzzled. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, is aligned with the cardinal directions to an accuracy of 3/60ths of a degree. Given the lack of a magnetic compass or advanced astronomical tools, achieving such precision seems far beyond what was manageable for the civilization of the time. Could this be indicative of a more advanced society that had been reset? Genetic evidence also gives us pause. A recent study published in the journal Nature showed that all modern humans have a common ancestor who lived just over 200,000 years ago. This is a surprising discovery, as it implies a bottleneck in human population at some point in our history. Could this bottleneck have been the result of a global cataclysm, like the Great Flood, that wiped out a majority of the human population, leaving only a select few to repopulate the Earth. And then we have the out-of-place artifacts, or OOPArts. These are objects of historical, archaeological, or paleontological interest found in an unusual or seemingly impossible context. The Koso artifact, for example, is a spark plug encased in a geode that's estimated to be 500,000 years old. While some dismiss these as mere curiosities or hoaxes, others see them as evidence of a lost advanced civilization. Lastly, the unexplained phenomenon of underwater structures, like the Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Japan, a platform-like structure with right angles, straight walls, and staircases, all under the ocean. Could these submerged structures be remnants of a civilization drowned by the Great Flood? The evidence is there, waiting to be pieced together, and while none of it conclusively proves the engineered reset theory, it certainly raises questions that we cannot ignore. The quest for understanding continues as we look to unearth more about our past and the secrets it may hold about our future. The notion of an engineered reset is undeniably contentious, often met with skepticism from mainstream historians and archaeologists. This is not surprising, since the established narrative of human history is deeply ingrained in our education systems, institutions, and collective consciousness. Historians and archaeologists often approach the engineered reset theory with a level of academic resistance that is hard to penetrate. The primary reason for this is that the theory challenges the linear understanding of human civilization's progression. Accepting the idea of a technologically advanced civilization preceding ours would require a complete reevaluation of our historical timeline. Not many professionals in the field are willing to undertake such a massive shift in perspective. One cannot ignore the institutional denial that surrounds this theory. The conventional academic world has a tendency to maintain status quo, often disregarding theories that disrupt established narratives. This is not unique to the engineered reset theory. Over the years, many revolutionary ideas have faced similar antagonism before they were eventually recognized as valid. For instance, the theory of continental drift proposed by Alfred Wegener in 1912 was initially met with widespread ridicule. It took decades before it was accepted and transformed into the now universally recognized theory of plate tectonics. This pattern of resistance to paradigm-shifting ideas is often repeated in the academic world, and the engineered reset theory is no exception. More often than not, proponents of the theory find themselves at the receiving end of ridicule and dismissal. Mainstream institutions tend to marginalize such views, often labeling them as pseudoscience. The stigmatization has led to a certain degree of self-censorship among researchers who might otherwise be inclined to explore this theory. Critics argue that the evidence supporting an engineered reset is circumstantial at best, often based on anomalies that can be dismissed as coincidences or misinterpretations. They point out that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and to them, the engineered reset theory has yet to meet that criterion. However, it is crucial to recognize that the denial and resistance towards the theory are not necessarily indicative of its invalidity. The history of science and knowledge is filled with instances where established ideas were overturned by new evidence or interpretations. Whether the engineered reset theory will eventually earn its place among these revolutionary ideas remains to be seen. The challenge lies in maintaining an open dialogue and encouraging rigorous research into these anomalies rather than dismissing them outright. Only then can we hope to unravel the truth about our past, however unconventional it may turn out to be. As the philosopher Thomas Kuhn once said, "Progress is not an increase in what is known, but an increase in the number of questions that can be asked." The engineered reset theory, for all its controversy, is certainly asking some intriguing questions, and that in itself is worth exploration. This theory is not just about geological and technological implications. It delves into the realm of the spiritual and symbolic. This idea of a great flood as an engineered reset event could potentially offer fresh perspectives on ancient beliefs, divine encounters, and even the concept of gods as advanced extraterrestrial beings. The notion of an engineered reset event evokes images of a deity or advanced civilization wielding vast power over the elements, reshaping the face of the planet at will. This aligns with many ancient myths and religious texts that speak of gods causing or controlling natural disasters as forms of punishment or purification. If we consider these narratives from the perspective of an engineered reset, they could potentially be interpreted as metaphorical accounts of an actual physical event. This interpretation dovetails with the theory known as ancient astronaut or alien theory, which proposes that gods were, in fact, extraterrestrial beings. These beings, possessing advanced technology and knowledge, could have been perceived as divine due to their abilities to manipulate natural forces and shape human civilization. In this context, the Great Flood could be seen as a tool used by these advanced beings to reset civilization, either as a punitive measure or as part of a larger plan for humanity's development. This viewpoint could also shed light on humanity's forgotten past. If the Great Flood was an engineered event, it implies that there was a previous era of human civilization that reached a level of advancement which necessitated this reset. This civilization could have been wiped out, either by their own folly or by the design of these advanced beings. This notion provokes questions about the cyclical nature of civilization, the potential for self-destruction inherent in progress, and the possibility of a lost epoch of human history that we are only just beginning to uncover. Such an interpretation also invites us to reflect on the concept of divine encounters. If gods were advanced beings resetting civilization, then encounters with these beings would have been profound and formative events. These encounters, recorded in religious texts and folklore, could be recollections of interactions with these beings, misinterpreted over time as divine or supernatural due to the technology and knowledge displayed. In essence, the theory of an engineered reset event challenges us to re-evaluate ancient narratives, not as mere myths or spiritual allegories, but as potential records of historical events interpreted through the lens of the time. This approach could potentially provide a fresh understanding of ancient beliefs, divine encounters, and humanity's forgotten past. Yet, as with all theories, the validity of these insights rests on the strength of the evidence and the rigor of the interpretation. It is a path of inquiry that is fraught with controversy, but it is one that could yield intriguing insights into our past and our understanding of the divine. Despite being steeped in antiquity, the concept of the Great Flood as an engineered reset event has found its footing in the modern age. The advent of the Internet and the proliferation of digital platforms have allowed for the dissemination and exploration of such theories on a global scale. YouTube, with its vast user base and diverse content, has become a fertile ground for the propagation of such ideas. Documentaries and discussions exploring this theory have garnered millions of views, suggesting a profound interest and curiosity in the subject. This resurgence has also permeated literature. Books such as Graham Hancock's Fingerprints of the Gods and Randall Carlson's Sacred Geometry explore the possibility of advanced civilizations predating our known history. These works, while met with skepticism from mainstream academia, have captivated a considerable readership. They echo the sentiment that humanity's past might be more complex and enigmatic than generally known. In popular culture, too, the idea of a cataclysmic event resetting civilization has found resonance. Films, television series, and novels often portray similar scenarios, albeit with contemporary spins. These narratives, while primarily crafted for entertainment, often draw inspiration from ancient myths, hinting at the enduring influence of these age-old tales. Conspiracy forums and websites, often disregarded as fringe platforms, have also played a role in the modern resurgence of this theory. Despite their controversial nature, these spaces offer a platform for open discourse on alternative theories, enabling passionate individuals to engage in discussion, share research, and challenge prevailing narratives. The influence of this theory on public perception is not to be underestimated. It has sparked interest in historical mysteries and engendered a sense of intrigue towards ancient civilizations. It has also stirred debates about the nature of progress, the cyclical theory of history, and the potential for self-destruction inherent in advancement. On a broader level, the theory has fed into the human fascination with apocalypse and rebirth, a theme that is recurrent across cultures and eras. It underscores the fear and unease that accompany rapid technological progress and the potential of it spiraling out of control. It also reflects a deep-seated curiosity about the origins of humanity and the mysteries of the past. However, it's crucial to approach these ideas with discernment. The line between curiosity and credulity can become blurred in the face of captivating narratives and compelling rhetoric. Rigorous investigation, critical thinking, and open discourse are imperative to navigate this intriguing but complex terrain. In doing so, we may further our understanding of the past and perhaps glean insights into the future. Venturing into the realm of the unorthodox, some interpretations of the Great Flood narrative take a decidedly esoteric turn. These theories, though far from mainstream acceptance, offer a wealth of intriguing possibilities. They suggest that the cataclysm was not merely a natural disaster, but a deliberately engineered event. One such proposition is the ancient astronaut theory, which posits that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in prehistoric times, interacting with early human societies. Advocates of this theory suggest that these ancient aliens possessed advanced technology, capable of manipulating the Earth's weather systems and geology. According to this perspective, the Great Flood was not a divine punishment or a natural disaster, but a deliberate effort by these extraterrestrial visitors to reset civilization, perhaps due to humanity's misuse of imparted knowledge or technology. In a similar vein, some theorists propose that the Great Flood was not an earthly event at all, but an interdimensional one. They argue for the existence of other dimensions or realities, accessible through portals or gateways. In this interpretation, the flood narrative represents the temporary merging of two dimensions, resulting in a catastrophic reset. Another intriguing notion is the lost technology theory. Proponents suggest that ancient civilizations possessed advanced technology, now lost to history. This technology, they argue, was capable of triggering cataclysmic events such as the Great Flood. The destruction of these civilizations and the loss of their technology then served as a kind of reset, returning humanity to a less advanced state. Curiously, some interpretations also delve into the realm of the supernatural, proposing that the architects of the Great Flood were not human at all, but beings of non-human origin. These theories often draw on myths and legends of ancient gods or demigods, attributing to them the power to manipulate the elements and reshape the world. These beings, they claim, may have engineered the flood as a means of resetting human civilization, or perhaps as a form of population control. While these theories often fall outside the scope of traditional academic discourse, they nonetheless offer a fascinating glimpse into the limitless possibilities of interpretation. They weave intricate narratives that merge fact, speculation, and fantasy, challenging conventional understanding and inviting us to question, to wonder, and to imagine. Whether one views them as imaginative fiction or potential fact, they undeniably add another layer to the rich tapestry of human history and mythology. As the sun sets on this exploration, the waters of the Great Flood recede, leaving behind a landscape that is both intensely familiar and hauntingly alien. There is a profound sense of finality in the silence that follows the deluge, yet the echoes of the past linger on, reverberating through the annals of time and history. The theories we've navigated through, as diverse as they are, all point towards one central notion: the Great Flood as an engineered event, a deliberate reset of civilization. While this concept is laden with speculations and conjecture, it nonetheless prompts compelling questions about our understanding of history and the nature of our existence. One such question pertains to the purpose of this purported reset. If the Great Flood was indeed engineered, was it a punitive action, a response to humanity's misuse of knowledge or technology? Was it a radical measure to control population or to reshuffle the societal order? Or was it a resetting of the cosmic clock, a way of starting anew? Another question that lingers is about the agents behind this alleged reset. Were they extraterrestrial beings using their superior technology and knowledge to manipulate earthly events? Were they inhabitants of other dimensions, whose actions inadvertently caused a catastrophic interdimensional event? Or were they supernatural entities, wielding powers beyond human comprehension to reshape the world? Then there's the question of technology. If ancient civilizations had access to advanced technology capable of causing such cataclysmic events, what happened to this technology? Was it lost, destroyed, or merely hidden, waiting to be rediscovered? These questions, as they loom in the wake of our exploration, underscore the vast mysteries that still shroud the Great Flood. The event is etched into our collective memory, its stories retold across generations and cultures. Yet its truths, if they exist, remain elusive, tucked away in the depths of time, space, and human understanding. This exploration has not been about providing definitive answers, but rather about illuminating the vast landscape of possibilities, about unearthing the potential truths that lay hidden beneath the layers of time and interpretation. In doing so, it invites us to look beyond the surface, to question the accepted narratives, and to delve deeper into the mysteries of our past. The narrative of the Great Flood, as we know it, may be a tale of divine wrath, of natural disaster, or of human folly. But as we've seen, it could also be a story of engineered resets, of extraterrestrial interventions, of lost technologies, and of interdimensional events. It's a narrative that continues to evolve and morph through time, a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown. As we stand on the precipice of this vast expanse of possibilities, looking back at the trails we've traversed and the vast ocean of questions that still lay uncharted, we realize that history is not merely a chronicle of events. It is a rich tapestry of stories, a complex web of interpretations, a labyrinth of mysteries waiting to be deciphered. And in this labyrinth, the Great Flood is but one enigma, a single thread woven into the intricate fabric of human history and mythology, its true nature as elusive as the shifting sands of time. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Ancient Conspiracy Files. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.